Hey guys, I'm working on a 2017 F350 with the 6.7 Powerstroke in it. And I wanted to make a video about this part right here. This is the fuel pressure control valve that sets in the back of the driver's side fuel rail, the high pressure fuel rail. I've got the inner fender out of it right here. It's actually not that bad. It's a couple of bolts. Like there's everything you got to take out. Just and it comes right out, and it gives you access to the end of this fuel rail. And I'm going to try to kind of point here. So right there is the end of the fuel rail. Right there's the last injector. This is the hole for the glow plug. We've got that disconnected, but you have good access right here to the end of that fuel rail to get that sensor out of there. The reason I pulled this out, and the reason you might be watching this to pull this out, is these trucks are notorious for the CP4 pump, kind of eating themselves and shooting metal shavings down the fuel system, and you want to pull it out. It's a whole lot easier to pull this out than it is to pull the that solenoid that sets in the top of the CP4 pump. I can't remember what they call it, but you can pull this out and you can look up here and you can see this one's nice and clean. So one thing is, if there's any rust from this O-ring, pivot a little bit so the background's different. This black O-ring right here, you're looking for any kind of rust or debris from there up. From this O-ring back, you might see, a little bit of rust or something down here, but it's not going to matter. The sealing area is above this O-ring. Now, the other thing about this, and this is the information I couldn't really find anywhere on YouTube, and what I really want to make this video about. You can see I've got this setting on this Pittsburgh service wrench set. This came from Harbor Freight. Right there's the item number. This is what the wrenches look like. And what I didn't know too is that these two hex right here are separate of each other. And this is the part that actually tightens. This piece that spins here, and then back here, this just holds in place. The reason is that there's a hex on this is you want this oriented correctly. You want, when it sets in that fuel rail, you want this to be pointed up, like, yeah, just straight up. You don't want it leaned in towards the engine. You don't really want it leaned out. I mean, if it was leaned in or out a little bit, it's probably not a big deal, but just try to keep it vertical when you put it back in there. The other thing is these are pretty big, and I saw some folks who like made their own tools and cut wrenches off and whatever. This is a 30 millimeter, that inner part, and this outer hex is a 35 millimeter. And I've got those out of this kit. I've got a 30 here, and hopefully I can do this one-handed. Let's see. Put this right here. You can see that's the inner part. And the point of this wrench versus getting like a big combination wrench like one of those, that's actually the ones I took it out with. These are not the right size. I took it out with an 1 1/4 wrench and a 1 3/8 on the bigger part, and luckily it's not torqued in there real tight, and I didn't have any problem and didn't round it off or anything. But I wanted to have something better to put it back with. There's a couple options. You could, I think the best option is, if you don't have one, order yourself a 30 millimeter crow's foot, because this thing has a special torque sequence when it goes back in, and it goes, you can look in Ford service data. What I found is, and check it for yourself, don't take my word for it, but the first step is 44 foot-pounds. You back it off 90 degrees, and then you torque it again. I think it's 63 foot-pounds. again, check the service data yourself. You can go on Ford Motorcraft service. You can buy the data. It's not that expensive. But if you're out somewhere and you just need to pull this thing out and see if your CP4 is grenaded, and you do not have the time to order that stuff and you just need to check this, most people are going to have the tools to take this and this out. And there's Harbor Freights everywhere now. And this wrench right here and that wrench, you put it on there, put this on the little hex and put this on the big hex, turn them opposite of each other, break that thing loose. The body of this is going to want to spin when you're trying to take that out. It's going to try to spin like this. So another thing I like about these service wrenches, and that's the name I didn't really mention, is a service wrench. That's just the design of it. It's not a combination wrench. It's got this stubby little end. It's meant to go into tight spaces, which is good because under the hood of this thing is very tight spaces. So I think these are a really good option. Now, could you probably put that back in there and just give it the old, wrist torque wrench, 40 back, 63, whatever, just by hand? Probably. If you were in a pinch, you could do that. If you're like me and happen to have this K tool, this part number, this works pretty, this is what I'm going to try to do because I need to get this thing in there today. And what this does is hooks on here. This wrench will go in here and I can put a torque wrench on this. Now, this is not going to give me as accurate of a torque as a crow's foot. I know that. But I'm going to try to compensate for it a little bit because, it is going to extend us out. It is giving us a little bit of an angle, but it's going to be better, I think, than me trying to do it with my wrist. And I hope that's all of the information that I was trying to get in this, because I couldn't find the sizes and, ready available tools mentioned anywhere else, like on the internet. I mean, I didn't scour forums and stuff, but just quick videos. But yes, this stuff will allow you to check this and check it pretty quickly. I'd say you could do all of this, if you were doing it beginning to end. I mean, like 30 minutes versus having to take the upper and lower part of the intake off and check down in the CP4. Now, if this is really, really clean, you're probably okay. Okay. If there's a little bit on here, you probably want to go ahead and take the intake off, look at it. I was checking this one. I got the truck tore down for something fuel system related, but not a pump concern. But I wanted to make sure before I did any work on this fuel system, the high pressure side of it, that there wasn't anything in there. Because I'm going to actually do some injector replacement on this truck. And I also have a S&S diesel disaster proof kit that I'm going to install. And I wanted to make sure the disaster proof kit was worth putting on or to see if we already had a disaster, right? So if there is metal here, the disaster kit's not going to do anything for you. You need a full fuel system replacement at that point. That's worst case scenario. But that's beyond this video. I just wanted to point out like how to check this, some local tools you can get pretty inexpensively, and a way to get it out checked and back in, relatively to spec. If you got the time, go ahead and order you a 30 mil crow's foot. That would be the most accurate way to retorque this, but this is the setup that I'm going to use.